A wise man once said that control flow is where the rubber meets the road in programming. He also said, without control flow, our program is simply a list of statements that are sequentially executed. I have no desire to contest the veracity or the otherwise of that statement, but I believe it's something that we can find useful. I believe we can find, yeah, some sort of utility in that statement. Okay, so we're gonna try to talk. We're gonna try to uh, delve into control flow in Python. Um, Here on the screen we have a diagram or design, if you like, and then we have the different ways of implementing control flow in Python. So we have the if else, which is otherwise known as if then statements. So see this condition if else. So if the condition is true, do something. If it's false, do something else. So usually this is our if else control flow goes. So this is an example. So if condition, so if this condition is true, we do something. Otherwise, we do something else. Okay? So same thing with this. And then for our for loop, we have an iterator variable, then we have our iterable. So we say for item in iterable, okay? And then we have our code block, which is an indentation in Python. It's okay, do something, okay? So that's that. And then we have our while loop. So while condition is true, do something, okay? If it's false, also do something. Okay, so that's going to be do something else, and then we end it. And then our range is immutable. So say for I in range 5. So this is 0 to 4. Then maybe we print high. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is a mistake. It's supposed to be like not just it should be 1, 4. So this is a mistake in our design. So apologies for that. Also in our control flow, we can have break. So break exits the loop. We can have continue. Continue go to the next iteration. Okay. So we're going to be implementing with code some of these concepts inside our IPython uh, interpreter. So let's go to our terminal. Let's go to our IPython interpreter. And then here we have, okay, so let's play with some code to further drill this in. Okay, so if I have age, let's say age is 20, okay, then I can say if age is less than, no, if age is less than 20, I have an annotation here, I can say print age, I am a minor. Okay, I'm a minor. So that's the first condition. Okay, so I'm going to go back because I want to do else if. So that's a short form of else if. So else if age is what should I do now? Age is greater than age is greater than 20. Okay, so I can do print print age. I am an adult. Okay, I am an adult. Okay, and then here let's do else. Let me say print. Well, how old are you? How old are you? Okay. Uh, okay. Let's get this right. So if I press enter now, I think we should have something. Okay. So what do we have? So age is set to 20. Okay. So we say if age is less than 20, we say print age, I am a minor. Else if age is greater than 20, then say age, I am an adult. Else print, well, how old are you? Now you realize that these two conditions, they didn't evaluate to true. That was why it defaults to this else. Age was set to 20. Here we're saying if age is less than 20. So this condition does not evaluate to true. Here we're saying if age is greater than 20, this condition does not evaluate to true. So it defaults back to here. What if we will say if age is equals to 20, then we say print age, I am an adult. Okay, let's say that I am an adult. Then I can do, I'll just do else print I am a minor, like that. Okay, so what do we have? Now 20, I am an adult. Okay, so you get the idea. If the condition evaluated true, print this. Otherwise, you print this. Okay, so with that, we can move on and then work with for loops. Okay, so let's try something. Say for num in, so let's have an iterable here. I don't want to use a range this time. Let's have 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so here an indentation, then we can say print num. Okay, I'm gonna do and, so I'm gonna format this so that it's on the same line. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So you get the idea. This is for num in an iterable, like this. Okay, so that's that. Let's do more. Of course, we're familiar with this for high in range. So range 10, for instance, and then we can say print high. Again, we want these to be on the same line. Okay, so here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is control flow. All right, for range, what else can we do? We can do while loops as well. So for our while loop, we can do, okay, so let's say we can do high equals to 0. Okay, and then we can say while high is less than 10. What do we do? Then we can do print high. Okay, let's do that. And then, of course, we set I to 0. Then we say while I is less than 10. Print I, and then this is formatting. This is like we want this to be on the same line. So what do? We have to increment I one way or the other. So we have high plus equals 1. Okay, so we're incrementing that. So here, if this works, this is more or less the same as this. So here we're using for, here we're using while loop. So we say while I is less than 10, print I, and then increment I. Okay, so this code will run for as long as this condition is true, and then we've set I to 0. Okay, so if you press enter, again we have the same thing as this. So this while loop is a variant of for loop. Okay, now Remember here we spoke about break and continue. Okay, so here we said, what is it? We said break, exit the loop, continue, go to the next iteration. Okay, so we can implement that inside our IPython. So we use break and continue to fine tune our loops. Okay, so let's try something. Let's try some code. So we say for n in range 20 now. Okay, if you've been following through our tutorial, you know that this is going to go from 0 to 19. Okay, so we can set another condition here. Say if n modulus 2 is equals to 0, that is, if n is even number, okay, then continue. Okay, continue. So continue, we go to the next iteration. So essentially, it's going to skip for when our number is even number. When we get even number, it's going to skip and then it's going to go to the next iteration. Okay, so that's what we have, and then we can do. Okay, I have to go break out of here. Then I can do print n, then hand. So this is formatting it so that it's on the same line. Okay, so let's see what we get. See, so we went from 0 to 19, and then we set a condition and say if our number modulus 2 is 0, that is, if we get an even number, continue. Remember what we said continue does. Let me show you. Continue, go to the next iteration. Okay, so here we're saying if we got an even number in the course of our iteration, continue, that is, go to the next iteration. So this is not going to, when it encounters even number, it just goes to the next iteration. That's why here we're not getting any even number at all. I hope that makes sense. Okay. We could try to use control flow to generate some kind of Fibonacci series. Okay, so we know Fibonacci series is a sequence of a number where a number is the addition of the previous two numbers in the sequence. Okay, so one way we can do that is we're trying to use break now. So we're going to try to implement that by generating a Fibonacci sequence. It's a sequence or series of Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so let's do something. We can do A, we can do B, and then we can set this to 0, 1, like that. Okay, so, and then we can do, what should we do? We can do a maximum, let's say that to 100. So the number in a Fibonacci sequence or series, it's not going to be more than 100. So we are setting the maximum number here to be 100. Okay, now we need a list. Okay, so let's do Fibo, and then let's set that to list. We're going to be populating this list eventually. Okay, so now let's write our control flow. Then we say y true. Now when you do y true, remember this condition will always evaluate to true, y true. So if you don't want this to blow up your, your memory, you want to ensure that at some point in your program you insert break so that it breaks out of the loop, because when you have y true, it's always going to be true. So the loop is going to run continuously. So at some point you want to use break. Okay, so I can do this because I have a desire to use break at some point in the loop. Okay, so while true, then let's have a tuple here, A, B, and then this is equals to B, then A plus B. Okay, remember we said Fibonacci numbers. We have a sequence of numbers where first two numbers add to the next number. So we're having A, B, so like 0, 1 here now. So that's 1, then 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 1. So B is 1, A is 0, so 1, and here we have A 0 plus 1, so that's 1, 1. Okay, so we're beginning with 1, 1. Okay, so then we can say if A is greater than A max, okay, then we need to break out of the loop. Break. Okay, so then we need to print what we have. Then we can do fibo dot append. Fibo dot append. What are we appending? We are appending A. Okay, so we append A, and then I need to break out of the if loop so that I can print what we get. Then do print. So what do we print? Let me see. I think I should print. Okay, I'm going to print this Fibo list because that's what we're populating anyway. So I'm going to do print Fibo. Okay, so if this works, we should get a list comprising of a Fibonacci sequence. Okay, or numbers. Okay, so let's go. Now this works. So we get our Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so we're starting with 1, 1. The next one is 2. Okay, 1 plus 1 is 2. The next is 3. That's 1 plus 2 is 3. The next is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 8. On and on like that. Okay. So we can also, I think we've done quite a bit with control flow. When we are writing broader programs, we can do far more complicated stuff with these loops, with these control flow constructs. Perhaps we should try one more thing. What is it called? What if we decide to use, what is it called? We decide to use, okay, let's try something. Let's have L is equals to a list. Okay, that's L equals to a list. I want to generate another Fibonacci sequence of numbers, but I want the code to be more complicated than this. So bear with me. So if we have A max, so A max, let's do 30 now. 30. Okay. So let's try a for loop for n in range. Range. Okay. So let's start with 2 and then A max. A max. A max. Okay. Hope that is correct. Okay, so we're going from 2 to 29. You know how that works. Okay, now we can do for factor in L. Remember, you know what factor does, right? When we have what is it called? In what is it called? In basic arithmetic, you know what factor means. So for factor in L, okay, so we say if n modulus factor, okay, is equals to 0. So this factor is just an iterable variable. Okay, it's not like it's unique to Python. Okay, so don't get this confused. So we're just using a variable that is relatable. So this is an iterator variable. Okay, it's not like it's embedded, it's built into Python. Okay, so we're saying for n in range, we're going from 2 to a max now. A max is 30, so that's going to be 29. Then we say for factor in hell, so this empty list. Okay, so if n modulus factor is equal to 0, okay, so this is it's going to generate some kind of even number. Okay, so that's the case, we want to break out of the loop. Okay, uh, if that's not the case, let's do else. If I need to get this right, if n, so wait, let's break, and then okay, so I can do, so this is health, right? Then else should be here if I'm not mistaken. Else, then I can do l dot append. L dot append. What am I appending? I'm appending n, obviously. Okay, so let me go back to here so that I can print hell. Hell is a list, so I don't need to format it. If this works, then we should get another Fibonacci numbers, which is in agreement with our control flow. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I think I blundered that code. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's do that again. Apologies. So if we have, it says getting me, what is it called? Let me try and do that again. So you have L is a empty list, okay? And then I can have A max is 30, and then I can have for n in range this, okay? Then say for factor in hell, okay? Then I can say if n, okay? So this is the code we had before now. And then I can say break, okay? And then for else, okay? Let me try this, else, okay? Then I can do hell dot append. What are we appending? We're appending n, okay? So, okay, so let me go back and then print for the first for loop. Okay, so, okay, I think I see the mistake I was making the other time. This may yet blow up, guys. I'm not quite sure I'm doing the right thing, but if it blow up, please bear with me. So, okay, so this didn't blow up. All right, so I got this right. So we have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. Okay, so let's go back to what we have here. We're saying, okay, for any range 2, then A max is set to 30, okay? So for factor in our list, if n modulus factor is 0, break out of the loop, okay? Else, we do L dot append n, okay? So here, okay, we started with 2. That's why we're getting 2 here. So after 2, we didn't get any even number anymore, which satisfies this condition. Okay. So guys, that's all I have for control flow. In our subsequent tutorials, we're going to be handling control flows even more. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I'll see you guys the next video.